What's up, family? You know, just want you guys to talk to you guys really quick. Instead of doing a TikTok and going that route, I'm just going to go quickly live. I'm going to show you guys how the Most High is giving us so much information, and you can tell who are the ones that are actively participating in the last days, Daze, of Israel. The vast majority of the world is still trying to play their part in the last days of our people, all the way until the end. People still are not participating in the awakening of Israel. The vast majority of the people are still playing their parts to keep us in that daze, D-A-Z-E. All this information coming out, and you see the vast majority of the people silent and quiet. And that's all just showing you who's really a part of this awakening, a part of this truth. I don't care what a 12 tribes says. I don't care if they say this person's Israel, this person is not Israel. It's all about who the Most High has awakened at this time. And we get so stuck with, well, this person has this pigmentation, so he's Israel. This person does not have their pigmentation, so they're not Israel. And that's again an oversimplification. That's what the other nations have done. They have said if you have one drop of Negro blood, you cannot be a native. You cannot be an original person from here just because you have one drop of Negro blood in you. They're not even trying to figure out anything about your spirit. It's just straight whatever your blood is, that just determines what you are. And whatever they say, and how do they know what your blood you have? They're looking at the outside. They're looking at, hey man, do you have melanin? Do you have curly hair? Do you have big full lips? That's what they were doing before. But we are now at the point where you can just see the spirits on people. And it's like, you see everything falling apart all around us. Do you really think that this society is going to be able to continue? The only way this society can continue is if you are pretty much a zombie. You pretty much have to be a zombie in order for you to continue functioning in a society. You have to turn your face away from so many different events. Look, whatever happened to the Ukraine and Russia, all of a sudden, that's not in the news anymore. They just took a break from fighting? They're just not killing each other anymore? BRICS. They keep on talking about how BRICS is going to come online. BRICS is going to do this. BRICS is doing that. These people aren't accepting UAE, whatever, is not taking money from the dollars for their oil anymore. Saudi Arabia is not doing this. They're producing less oil. All these things are happening. But all of those are just distractions to keep you from what's really going on. Oh yeah, Yemen, they shot off some missiles against Yemen. You see what I'm saying? So, and now it's whatever. Before, a couple weeks ago, everything was about Ish and exposing Ish, and all of a sudden that's all just died out. Because they have to keep you, at such a low vibration, and people's attention span is so short that they have to give you something new. So all of a sudden now they're talking about Trump and him going to the him going to the courthouses in order to fight this case and fight that case, the Epstein. It's all that it is. But everything is to keep it, so then they can have something else to talk about other than this truth, and something I want to show you guys really quick. We're going to get into is this book right here. Oops, sorry. Kind of like Trump with the Bible, backwards and upside down. The Rulership Book. Talking about the Rulership Book, and it gives you words for like Aquarius, for Pluto, for the house, the 9th house. And we are going into that here, and you're going to see some information. We're going to bring it out later on, but let me just share a couple things. Let me see here. Well, it talks about pretty much, I'm going to show a video so I can show the information, but it pretty much lets you know that Pluto is going into Aquarius and is going into the 9th house. This book gives you references to like what sorts of things are associated with Pluto, with Aquarius, and with the 9th house. And if you Google it, I want to go into it a little bit more later on, but it pretty much just lets you know that like it's coming to a time where we're gonna have to like really start to really rethink who we are, and that means everyone. See, no one wants to do that. The vast majority of the world does not want to do that. So the first thing, we'll just take a couple of words here about Pluto. Thanks again to the to my moderators. I appreciate you. Pluto, of course, talks about archaeology, Antichrist, annihilation, talks about the bad things, Belial, birth of all kinds, talking about death and life after. And we know that, that's what happened in 1776 when Pluto came over here. It was the death of our people, death of our way of life, and a resurrection for the Gentiles and their rulership. Now that's going to be coming back again. It's going to be the death of their reality and the rebirth of ours. And that's what it's talking about. That's just a few things with Pluto. As you can see, there's like pages and pages of this information, and we'll go over it. Okay? So, but we know definitely death and resurrection. Also death of who you think you are. Death of the your designations of who they say you are. No one is who they say they are, because really everyone has been given a different inheritance, a different identity, So then let's go ahead and skip over here to Aquarius, because I'm jumping here to Aquarius real fast so you guys can see this. And so we'll go into this even more later on. But Aquarius has some pretty interesting, words that has to deal with Aquarius. One is, I thought was pretty interesting, was the Holy Land is associated with Aquarius. So you think of Pluto, death, and resurrection, and then you connect that with the Holy Land. This is the death of, or the time of the end of the Gentile rulership over the Most High's chosen people, over their lands, because that's what's talked about here in Aquarius. Okay? So it talks about Israel, January. Talks about, again, the Holy Land. Talking about, acquaintanceship, astrology and astrologers. These are some of the words here. Knowledge, lands that have been reclaimed or changed. As for agricultural to residential. So again, Aquarius also goes with lands that have been reclaimed. So see, these are all the kinds of things we're moving into. The end of lands, them claiming our lands. The end of them having, authority over our lands. These are kinds of things that go with Aquarius. So you got death and resurrection for Pluto. You got, the Holy Land. Okay? You got lands that have been reclaimed or changed. And that's what they did. They claimed our lands in 1776. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going on right now. Knowledge. And we know knowledge is being increased. This is how you can tell, like I said, who's even in this, in the game right now. The vast majority of the world is not even in the game right now. They want nothing to do with knowledge. They want to continue with this matrix of ignorance. But they're not going to be able to stop the movement of these planets into certain areas, into Aquarius. And I'm going to actually show you guys. So we're just touching on it really fast, but I'll be on the lookout later on. Maybe we'll go live and just kind of go into this even more. But then we can look into the 9th house. The 9th house. So they'll give you their little breakdown of this information. They'll talk about it a little bit. You know what I mean? They'll say, oh, we got Pluto moving to Aquarius in the lighthouse, but then this will give you a lot of these different words that are associated with these certain areas, right? And it was up to us pretty much it's up to us to have the Holy Spirit guide us into this understanding, putting these things together. Like here a little, there a little. So here in the ninth house, some of the words associated with the ninth house are discovery and discoverers, counselors, astral travel, aliens. Because all of a sudden you've been hearing all these people talking about aliens all the time, right? Foreign affairs, faith, religious, exploration, explorers. These are all different things that have to do with the ninth house. Meditation, mentality, deeper. So maybe getting deeper mentality, deeper meditation. So it sounds like it's going to be a lot more of a time of our people getting more understanding about who they are. Not just our people, the other nations too. You're going to realize, look, you guys have all had to play a part, because it said that the whole world is taking crafty counsel to keep Israel from knowing who we are. Like Psalms 83. So that means you got all these different people in all these different parts of the world taking inheritance and taking lands that are not theirs. Like if I know that I'm going down, I'm going to make sure that everyone goes down with me. So you're all going to get a little piece of the pie. And with that piece of the pie comes an eventual judgment for everyone who has taken a piece of the pie. And that's what's going on right now. So we're talking about the ninth house right here real fast. Military service, barracks, or camp. We got mind, higher, or abstract. So we're getting higher minds right now. Higher understanding right now. You're seeing it right now. You know? So we got other things here. We got travel, travelers, voyages, visions. So these are things we can prayers, like we started praying again. So these are things that we can start to look forward to having more power coming very soon. Racial ideas, mental adjustment to. So you got a mental adjustment to racial ideas. That's huge, right? I mean, these are the things that are goes with the ninth house, Pluto, and Aquarius. All these things. So think about that mental adjustment. I've already been experiencing that mental adjustment to racial ideas. See, everyone thinks that they know their race. Everyone thinks that, oh, I'm American because, well, you only been here 200 years, supposedly. I'm Mexican. Like everybody thinks they're Mexican because they speak Spanish. Spanish has nothing to do with Mexico. Spanish has nothing to do, things of Spain have nothing to do with the original people of the Yucatan Peninsula, of Mexico. Those are all European, constructs that were brought over here by our oppressors. So to think about the ninth house and that whole mental adjustment to racial ideas is huge. But what I'm going to do is we're going to come back. I just wanted to touch on this a little bit to give you guys a little something to think about. Again, this book right here, we're going to get into some here. I have another one I'm going to get into about Pluto, the rulership book. We will get into that. We'll probably do a live so we can actually talk about it together. So be on the lookout for that later on. Shalom.